This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you might have missed this morning. But we also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 1st of April, 2019. Happy April Fool's Day. And I am 2J.
I am Tuel.
And I am Miss K, your host. Again, in case you missed it, this is Winning Headlines. Let's take a look at today's headlines. The Star. Counties spend 80 billion shillings wages in 6 months.
Oh.
Yeah. The Standard. Depression. Kenya's new health disaster. And Daily Nation. RUTO defiant as MPs demand his sacking.
Oh.
Let's start with impeachment, if I can call it that. Let me
You
just put it out there.
just went straight in.
Yes, because sometimes we like, as Africans and as Kenyans in particular, we dance with the elephant around the room.
Yes.
We just
Around the
let
bush, yeah.
the elephant do cartwheels right there. We're not addressing it. So today, I'm taking the bull by the horns. Impeachment. There, I said it.
Before you go to numbers, I want to ask a question.
Okay,
All right.
sure.
If Murathe was made to resign because he attacked RUTO,
Yeah.
why can't the other MPs who are attacking RUTO in Jubilee be made to shut up?
That's a loaded question.
You see, your deputy is being attacked
Yeah.
live. We all watching this. It's in the media, right?
Yes.
It seems, what it actually seems is the president and the deputy president are not reading from the same script.
Yeah, I know, I would agree with that.
They're just coming short of saying it.
If the president wanted these MPs to stop talking, they would stop talking.
Yeah,
So the fact that they've not been shut up from
Yeah.
behind, I mean, it says enough.
I think some guys need to be read for the Riot Act.
But here's a question.
Yeah.
And I loved the cartoon that we had a couple of weeks ago where Murathe himself was there looking at someone's talking dog.
Yes.
And others were also there speaking on other people's behalf.
Yeah.
You have someone behind you who's saying something.
Yes.
And maybe the thing they're saying needs to be said.
Yeah.
So for me, today,
Yeah.
is I'd like to just speak to Dr. RUTO for a moment and tell him about the numbers.
Yeah.
And I think we've mentioned them here before.
Yeah.
You need 116 to initiate a motion.
Yes.
You need 233 to get the motion adopted.
Right.
Then it's taken over by the Senate. And
Yes.
for me,
Yeah.
looking at you from this position,
Yes.
once you get into the Senate, it's a slip, slide, slope, you're out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where the battle is in the National Assembly.
Very true. Yeah.
Now, what are our numbers in the National Assembly?
So if we look at the Jubilee numbers, right, 172,
Yeah.
69 of which are Ngema,
Yes.
58 are in Ruto's camp.
Yes.
And then the remaining, I think it's 45 are just in different areas. But I
Yes.
think we can quite honestly put them in Ngema. By that point, Ruto only has 58 people who will vote against.
I have a thing.
Yeah.
And I've looked at these numbers. And
Yes.
I've looked at them round and round and round.
Yes.
If you take JP's Uhuru aligned numbers,
Yes.
then you take Raila aligned ODM,
Yes.
then you add them onto, you don't even go far.
Yeah.
Leave the independents out of it. In
Yeah.
fact, even those 39
Yeah, those
unaligned,
40, 48,
Yes.
yeah.
and unaligned JP members can stay out of it.
Yeah.
Add ODM,
Yes.
add Wiper,
Yes.
add Amani, add
Yes.
Ford Kenya,
Yes.
It's a wrap.
add all those numbers, you
Yes.
get to 206.
Yes.
That's enough for you to initiate a motion.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that only leaves them with 27 MPs
Yes.
for them to vote him out. Now,
That 27, that margin is far too
that
close.
threshold is
Far
very
too
small.
close.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me ask it in a very layman sort of way. For this motion to pass,
Yeah.
what you're telling us that is that Parliament would need to have 233 people
seated there and
Seated
voting,
there, vote
bare
for.
minimum.
voting
Bare minimum.
for.
Bare minimum. And also for that motion to pass, you will need 2/3 to vote on it.
And that
Correct.
233
Two-thirds
is
majority, yeah.
2/3.
It's 2/3.
Yes.
I think
So-
the point we're trying to make here
Yeah.
is that Ruto is taking this too lightly. I don't think people around him have shown him these numbers and the dire situation that he's entering into. With a 27% margin,
Yeah.
it's looking bad.
I think, he better think of this very carefully.
But I would also like to mention
Yeah.
a story that I saw here.
Yes.
Could be an old story, could be a rehashed story, but
Right.
a story that we need to mention nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moses Kuria is seeking permission
Yes.
to introduce a bill to create a non-executive PM, to increase the number of cabinet members,
Yes.
and to have those cabinet members to be parliamentarians. We want to go back to a political cabinet.
Absolutely.
What do you guys think about that?
No, I like a political cabinet. I like when a cabinet secretary will go to parliament and answer questions. Right now, they'll be treated like Shambo boys. They'll be told, you go, and they'll be, that's why they're being harangued in public. That's why they're being told
Are
off
you
in
saying
public.
that their political index is low, and because their political index is
Oh,
low,
yes.
they will be toyed with because we are a political nation?
You know, the president himself has mandate from the people, and therefore he can bully his way in any sort of forum.
All
And
right.
therefore, when you see his CSs chilling like this and then they are being blasted all the time, it's because they have no political backup behind.
Yeah.
An MP can resign and go back to parliament.
Okay, but what do
Whatever
we
it
think
is.
about the headline?
Let me bring back our audience to our criteria that we used to break down the headlines for you. And maybe let's use that. In fact, we have to use it to break down this headline for ourselves and see what we're going to do with it. Is this headline topical, or is it speculative? Is it repetitive, or is it groundbreaking? And finally, is it thoughtful or just plain lazy?
First, we know.
Repetitive.
It's repetitive.
Most definitely.
Because he's been defiant.
Miss K is ready. She's ready to toss.
I'm ready to toss because we
And I
know
agree
it's
with
been
her.
coming.
No, I
and
agree.
everyone's been
No, we
skirting
toss.
around
Yeah,
the
it's
issue. Maybe
fine.
you'd have written for me
Impeachment. I know. True.
impending.
Right. You should just call it as it is. I agree with
Call
you.
it for what it is.
Yep.
Okay. Before we get into our final story, I say we're going to the star. Counties spent 80 billion shillings wages in 6 months.
You know, I told you guys this last week. And I'm going to say it in another crazy way. Devolution is a disaster in this country.
Yeah.
You know why? Because if you're spending 80 billion shillings in 6 months and you are spending 53% of your revenues on salaries and you're going to borrow from China to build roads and railways,
There's a problem.
there is a problem.
Yeah.
Because 80 billion shillings in 6 months is an SGR in 2 years.
Here's the thing we need to accept. And we have said this before.
Yeah.
When we voted in the Constitution, what we got back in return was an invoice.
Yes.
And an invoice that we must hold ourselves to, we have to pay.
Yes.
Because I asked you a question earlier. What is the wage differential between a councillor, because that's what an MCA was before, and an MCA now? And it's crazy.
They're making
It is.
a
It
lot
is.
more.
And now,
Yeah.
Kwanzaa, they are nominated. They
And
are nominated.
also, leave that.
Yeah.
Do you know that
Yeah.
we didn't have as many MCAs as we do now?
Yes.
As many councillors.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying now we even have nominated.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I said last week,
Yeah.
this is a problem of our own doing.
No, most definitely.
Of our own doing, plus also we should be very
Tuem,
careful.
I know what you're about to say.
Okay, let me say it then. Right? We should be very careful to take prescriptions from the global north. Because we always say our constitution is progressive. We have one of the best constitutions in the world because it was a hybrid of an American.
Who said that?
I don't know who
absolute-
said that.
This is what
I
people
really
have
don't
been,
know.
this is
said
what-
that.
This is what people have been talking about for years. But we were tricked by two narratives, the narrative of inclusion and one of representation, as if we eat inclusion and representation.
Wow.
Right? We
Tuem,
should be
you
very
cannot.
far.
No, you cannot
Uhuru
blame.
would-
You cannot blame
President-
the West for our
President-
own doing.
President Uhuru would not have gone to China to look for a loan from the Exim Bank of China if he knew we could be saving 160 billion shillings per year.
But you know, you can't change the structure of the county government without a referendum.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's what a referendum
Yeah,
should be
maybe
about.
that's
And
possible. What
that's,
it's for.
that's what it should be about.
So
I agree.
what are we going to say about this headline?
I think it's a little bit fear mongering.
It's mongering, but it's true.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
60% of our
it's
current
true, but I
expenditure
think
is
it's trying
wages.
to alarm you more than it should.
And I actually think we should be alarmed because we have made some very grave decisions that will take us
The
down.
problem with, I agree with 2J for this reason. I agree with you both. I agree that we should be alarmed by this article, but I also agree that it's fear-mongering without giving you a solution or telling you where you're going.
And is
So
that
it's
not what the
fear-mongering for
fourth estate are?
fear-mongering's
Yeah.
sake.
It's what the fourth estate are best at.
But maybe
Anyway,
someone
we
is
toss.
also telling us it's time for a referendum. Not to have a
Don't
non
hint at the
executive
issue.
no,
Please
not
don't
to
hint
have
at
a
the
non executive
issue. Just-
premiership, but we need a referendum
to reduce the size of our bloated government.
Get rid of those counties.
I feel like we've been saying this every day for the past few weeks now.
But no one is bringing it up as an issue. In fact, we're increasing the number of people who are going to be drawing from the fund.
Absolutely.
Right. Finally, the standard: depression, Kenya's new health disaster. I question the newness.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to note, dear Standard newspaper, that this report came out in 2017.
That's true. Doesn't negate the importance of the issue.
Yeah.
But on our criteria, where I failed to place to pin it on or find a place to hang it on is the topical nature of it. And for it to be topical, I was trying to find why is this topic immediately interesting? How is it related to something current, a current event that is happening right now, today, on the 1st of April, or that happened the last week of March?
Or that might be upcoming. I don't think there's...
But nonetheless, guys, let's also admit, society as it is right now, I know more people who are clinically depressed than I've ever known before.
That's very true.
Right?
Is that a function of awareness and knowledge about mental illness? Because I think there were still just as many people who suffered from depression and who took their own lives because of suffering from mental illness, but we didn't know about it and it was kept hidden because of our cultural...
No, of course, we cannot deny that people are feeling more comfortable about saying that they are depressed or seeking help for their depression.
And that is a good thing.
It is a good thing. It's a fantastic thing. But I'd want to question the way the Standard has placed this issue, because no more than 10 days ago were they reporting that Kenya topped East Africa as the happiest country, So I would say that, and that was not a headline, which I find curious as well. So it's almost as though they're happier to place important but unfortunate things on the headline compared to happier, more positive things.
That's true. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we're looking, the issue itself, very important. The spread that they spoke about, because it does go, I think, I've never seen, even for corruption, I'm yet to see 4 pages discussing the same issue. The deplorable conditions in which psychiatric wards are in, that's an important issue. The low funding that the mental health institutions get, that's an important issue. But the placement of this article in the context of the issues we've been discussing in the past 2 weeks, curious.
But if you're the average Kenyan and you read these headlines all the time, you end up being clinically depressed.
Exactly. I mean, Roger Stone probably said it best. The media is lazy and either lazy or evil. Unfortunately, I think our media is a little bit of both. So, all right.
There is no winning headline. On to our next segment. The political opinions that we call cartoons in this country. And just like the headlines, we have a 3-part criteria that we use to break them down for you. We ask ourselves, is the cartoon humorous or is it dry? Is it satirical or is it pessimistic? And I see we have a bit of humor going on.
Two of us decided where we're going to start.
And finally, is it effective or just plain lazy? So today we are starting with the Standard. Let me open my own version.
Describe for us.
It's a caricature of the representation of the British Empire, right? Walking confused.
A bespectacled man.
Bespectacled man.
Bespectacled.
Wearing a hat. It's called a top hat.
Top hat, yeah.
It's carrying an umbrella. But his limbs are confused. One is walking one way, the other one is walking the other way.
Even his arms, like his
arms are confused, back.
You can't tell which way he's going.
We see his back, but his face is facing the wrong direction.
Actually very confusing.
Yeah.
And so he's drawn to be naked. And he has left his clothes with what is meant to be a representation of the EU. And has walked off naked with a flag on his back, on his front, wherever,
But he seems to be very confident of where he's going,
determined.
but at the same time confused. Very determined. But at the same time, he's confused.
I mean, we've said it time and time again. Gadot draws for an international audience, so we can't be surprised that he's still on this Brexit story.
But I have to say, this is a funny representation.
I
was tired of the Theresa May variations. I'm telling you, I was done with them. This, I think, is humorous.
Yes.
But I don't know. The Emperor without clothes. Are they really without clothes? I don't know. Does it fit?
I think it does. I mean, if most of the world is telling you it was a bad decision to leave the EU, and you're not listening, then you might as well be told the king is naked.
But you think it was a good idea?
Or the queen.
Oh, the queen is naked.
Yeah.
I say we put it in the parking bay. Let's see what else is there. Let's see what else is there. Where is this? Yes.
The Nation. All right, so we have a ship that has docked at a port with the sign on the side, MV Cartel, dropping down some bags. And on the phone is a fat pig. And he says, intimidate the farmers, a compulsory fertilizer is here. And he's holding a paper that says food, sorry, what does it say?
Food crops
Food crops regulations, yeah. I think there's two stories that, who is this today? You guys can do.
Yeah.
Tell us with this particular.
I think the first one in relation to the MV Cartel is that last week, 5.8 million bags of compound fertilizer was stopped from entering Kenya because it did not meet KEBS standards.
Yes.
So I think that's the first story.
Yeah.
Then the second story is in relation to food crops regulations.
Yes.
What's the story?
There's a bill that is aiming to criminalize the use of animal manure in fertilizer.
Yeah.
I think
that's very dumb.
The bill or the cartoon?
No, both actually.
No, but the bill comes from a good place. Because sometimes you can have fertilizers that are made and the composition of the fertilizers, you cannot determine where the animal manure came from. And it exposes us human beings unnecessarily to hormones and antibiotics that then
find its way into the food, and then
they find its way into our food, we eat it, then our immunity is reduced. When you're sick and you actually need the antibiotic, you've acquired a resistance to it, and you cannot take it.
And I think the saddest thing about this cartoon is that it's so good, but it's going to go over the tops of so many people's heads.
Because you need to have a whole
much context
on what each particular element.
I mean, I think part of the most timely thing about this cartoon is a recent court decision that was made in the US in reference to a fertilizer called Roundup that is owned by the largest GMO company in the world, Monsanto. And so they lost a court case and had to pay off 80 million to a man who got cancer
because of using
this weed
plants
killer
that had
Roundup. And so because of that decision in Kenya, farmers have been told to stop using it and seek medical attention immediately. Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me to seek medical attention as well? It's not like I know when I go to the market where the plants
where it's come from.
Is that now bill going to be pro Monsanto?
Now, I have a feeling that Monsanto, in my opinion, allegedly, perhaps, that Monsanto is behind this bill.
It's possible because you see, you have to be a very good if you're a how do I call it? A monopoly in a particular field.
Yes.
The best way for you to ensure your perpetuity is to control policy and regulations.
Fantastic.
So if at all you're that good, you will be.
This is the kind of bill they want to back.
And guys, let me tell you, in political economic theory, cartels are not necessarily bad. They're there for their own self-interest.
Speak for yourself.
But so what do we say about this cartoon? Because already we have Gado in the parking bay. It was hilarious.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to keep this. It's very complex. It's a comic strip again. And I sense a style. I get their style. Once you see it, you know it's a cartoon from the Nation.
Yes.
But
I say we toss it. I think the requirement for understanding it is far too high. Yeah. All right. Finally.
Oh, I think Ndula woke up.
I know last week he was he was so bad.
He was bad.
Oh yeah.
But I like this cartoon.
Yeah.
It's a graveyard. It's representation of a graveyard, I believe. And a caricature of President Uhuru Kenyatta hitting coffins, right? A coffin, and he's hitting the nails on the coffin, and the guys are applying him with nails. And this, you know, is in the mouth. Is
like a real fundi,
is Raila, like a real fundi. And the hat is there. You can see that exactly how.
Who is that supposed to be?
The coffin is named.
The coffin is named Jubilee. And he's saying the person who's aiding Uhuru to kill Jubilee and to close the casket to bury it is another than Raila. Yeah. But who's the bishop besides the graveyard?
The bishop there, somebody who is supposed to look like DP RUTO.
And he's crying.
But
praying. He's always crying.
He's always crying.
But he's also praying. Today his hands are clasped in a very pious position.
And the tombstone, which I think is the best part of this cartoon, the tombstone says, born, I guess, out of ICC convenience and died war on corruption.
Actually, by the way, you said that he's trying to kill Jubilee, and I think Jubilee's already dead. We're burying it.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
It's the last rites, the final rites.
Absolutely.
And I think that this is very funny.
Oh, it's fantastic.
But guys, don't you see something else here? Ndula is very, very detailed, fantastic.
Tell us.
When President Uhuru and Deputy President RUTO were in 2013, they used to wear the same clothes.
Oh, best friends.
Best friends, the red tie, and all
in
that.
fact, it was a red tie and a was it a navy blue suit and a white shirt,
wow.
crisp white
They
shirt.
used to wear the exact
Victor
same clothes.
he's very good like that, yeah.
Yeah, and now who's wearing it? But now the difference they have.
That. Great cartoon.
Fantastic.
Great cartoon.
Yeah.
I actually
Fantastic.
think that Gados is a really good cartoon.
Yeah.
But because we are Kenya-centric,
Concentric, yep. We toss.
Ndula takes it.
Ndula.
But it's a close second. It's
Close
really
second,
funny.
yeah.
It's really funny. It's a close second.
Yep.
Ndula takes it. Today our winning cartoon is from Victor Ndula, the star. This is Winning Headlines. Have a great week. See you tomorrow.